Alka. Hello. A very good afternoon to all of you present here. Our next session is on architecture in India. To start with the session, I, Mrs. Swati Satpute, and the 5th Bharatiya Vigyan Sammelan team request our speaker, Nachiket Patwardhan sir, to come on the stage. We also humbly request Dr. Udayan Indurkar to chair the session. I take this opportunity to introduce our speaker, Nachiket Patwardhan sir. Sir is an architect and filmmaker by profession. He has executed many building projects, mainly institutional and residential. Sir is a National Award winner film director. He has won accolades for the films like 22nd June 1897, Utsav, Ananta Yatra, and many more. In the profession of filmmaking, he has received more than 10 Maharashtra State, Filmfare, and National Awards. Nachiket sir is also an artist who has exhibited his paintings in Jahangir Art Gallery. A warm welcome to you, sir. It gives me immense pleasure to introduce our chairman of the session, Dr. Udayan Indurkar. Sir is a researcher in Indology who has visited, studied, and photographed over 400 monuments located at over 150 ancient sites in India as well in Cambodia. He has delivered over 700 lectures on ancient temples, sculptures, Indian arts, Indian aesthetics, and various other subjects related to Indology. His publications are Drashta Kala Sadak, a biography on late Haribau Wakankar, Adbhut Bharatiya Shilpa Verul, Temples of Cambodia. He has produced a 13-episode national TV serial, Shilpa Saundarya, in 1999. He has contributed to theatre with the scripts for the following performances: Tamuso Ma Jyotirgamaya, Lalit Alankrut Maharashtra, Rani Ki Vav, Verulcha Naika, Loy, The Beginning, and many more. We are indeed grateful and extend a cordial welcome to our speaker and chairman who have agreed to grace this occasion. Now I request Nachiket sir to start with the session.
Thank you. See, on my understanding of traditional and modern, after my 10-12 minutes, we will show you a film on the building of the Vipassana Pagoda at Gorai in Bombay, and then I think there will be time for question and answer. At the confluence of traditional and modern sciences, the waters of both the rivers have run dry, and the once sacred spaces are now filled with boulders and garbage that is being dumped on a daily basis, with sewage in excess of the sand that is being illegally taken out, mostly for the building industry. Constructions of one kind or another are directly and indirectly contributing to more than half the global warming that is currently destroying the ecological balance and environmental sustainability of our planet. Our false aspirations are taking us on an accelerated path towards a consumer-driven lifestyle that will not be sustainable if we had resources of even 2 planet Earths. If at all we are looking for an integrated vision for development beyond slogans and posters, one of the active steps that I would suggest is that we stop all building construction till 40% of our land is under effective forest cover. Just to illustrate my suggestion that we stop all construction activity is the strange case of a new capital city for Andhra Pradesh. I do not know how many of you are aware of the tragic farce that has been going on for over a couple of years over the construction of a new capital at Amravati. After more than a year-long process of selecting an architect of international standing, a Japanese architect was selected, and within a few months of this decision, he was unceremoniously removed, and the official reason was that his office was not capable of delivering the services that were required. What has followed is a series of blunders in search of another architect. The latest joke is the scenario that the art direction of the mega hit film Bahubali is being appreciated and demanded as the new face of the Andhra Pradesh capital. Instead of becoming an embarrassing laughing stock of the world, I have proposed that we do not need a new capital city at all. Totally in keeping with our rich tradition of Jugaad, the minister's offices and the whole world of MLAs can continue operating from their present and existing premises, however temporary and part-time they may be. After all, we do have living examples of hospitals, homes, schools, kitchens running year after year in temporary and part-time premises, whether due to flood, earthquake, displacement. Poor and dispossessed Indians are well aware of this experience, and if a state government lives through a decade or two in such conditions, it will only lead to some wisdom and understanding about the ground realities of our nation. Going back to the issues of the building industry, I would like to remind all of you that at the end of the 18th century, India had a well-organized building construction industry that had in-house provisions for resourcing materials, manpower management, research and development, education, and nurturing of high-quality craftsmanship. Except for PR and marketing, our highly evolved systems, though admittedly severely caste-ridden, were capable of delivering constructions of a scale and size that were not being built anywhere else in the world. From that level of excellence, we have fallen to the lowest depths where we are now busy imitating and copying architecture from other parts of the world using a new cut-paste style of computer-driven digital technology. Our traditional building industry was destroyed because the British Empire needed to become part of our construction boom to get not a slice of the pie, but the cake and the icing as well. Our building industry was therefore systematically demolished, our skills branded as old-fashioned and unsafe, and our standard operating procedures were declared unsuitable due to nepotism, sycophancy, and corruption. For the first time in India, around the early years of the 19th century, the architect was introduced into the Indian building industry to replace our traditional master builder. Instead of being a master of at least one building skill, we now had one who was guaranteed to be a master of at least marketing and PR. Our record of post-independence India has unfortunately been no better than the highly exploitative British experience. We have ruined our architectural education almost beyond repair by removing all the remaining links with actual building experience. We now try to teach students inside classrooms about work that is almost entirely outdoors and done by hand on a construction site. This is like making doctors out of students without any contact with patients, or expecting a driving school to function without vehicles, or training in a music college without any instruments. The last farce, the latest one within our educational system, has been the compulsion of a PhD being the qualifying standard for the head of an architecture college. In spite of all this, there is a bold silver lining to this dark cloud, and that is the short film that you will see now. The film is about the building of the Vipassana Pagoda at Gorai, that is the world's largest stone structure built almost entirely by hand. I would like to use this occasion of the Bharatiya Vigyan Sammelan and exposition to honor and remember Chandu Bhai, the Sompura master builder, who was the main moving force behind this project. It was his conviction and confidence that made him state without hesitation that he will build the dome with handmade dressed stonework for whatever size and whatever capacity that was required. The construction uses stones that have been cut to interlock in a specific manner that takes care of both compressive and tensile forces. Chandu Bhai unfortunately did not live to see the completion of the Vipassana dome. But are we not going to do anything more than give him a Lifetime Achievement Award? There are hundreds of future Chandu Bhais who are being denied admission into colleges, and education from being a fundamental right has already been converted into a service industry, which means that if you can't afford fees to go to college, don't go to college. It's really as simple as that. Thank you, and please enjoy the film.
May Dhamma arise again in the land of its origin, and from here spread around the world to eliminate the misery of suffering humanity. Buddhism traveled from India by way of Sri Lanka and took root in Myanmar, followed by flowering of Buddhist art, culture and architecture. Pagodas are Buddhist structures built in reverence to Lord Buddha, and different forms of relics are enshrined within them. In this land of pagodas, the architecture manifests style and skill unique to the culture of Myanmar. The landscape here is dotted with various sizes and shapes of pagodas in different materials. Some are solid mounds, while some are hollow structures to walk in, like temples. Built over 2,500 years, the Shwedagon Pagoda at Yangon stands supreme with its great sense of symmetry, line and grace, a classic masterpiece of Buddhist heritage built in solid brick masonry and plated in gold. Vipassana, which means to see things as they are, is India's most ancient technique of meditation, practiced and preached by Buddha. It has been preserved in its pristine purity by an unbroken line of teachers in Myanmar and spread throughout the world. S.N. Goenkaji, born and raised in Myanmar, learned Vipassana from his teacher, Sayaji Uba Khin. Upon his return to India, he decided to construct a magnificent pagoda, enshrined with original relics of the Lord Buddha, and dedicated to his teacher and to the people of Myanmar for preserving the Vipassana tradition.
He appointed a team of architects, engineers, Sompura temple architecture and other technical people related to the construction of the pagoda. And he gave the technical team 3 criteria that this pagoda externally should look similarly to the Shwedagon Pagoda in Myanmar. It should be having a hall within the pagoda accommodating 10,000 people for meditation, and the pagoda has to last 500 to 1,000 years.
A large stretch of land along the Gorai Creek, north of Mumbai, was donated by a sadhak. Guruji, along with the technical team, visited the site and finalized the exact location where the Global Vipassana Foundation was to be established, symbolized by the Grand Pagoda. Considering stone as the choice of material for longevity and strength, the design team, with help from Sompura Chandubhai, arrived at a unique solution of constructing a magnificent dome by interlocking individual stones in concentric radial rings. The stones have horizontal and vertical notches designed to interlock in both directions, stabilizing the ring without any need for shuttering.
The biggest challenge was the shape of Shwedagon Pagoda. It was not perfect structural shape through which we could pass the compression forces. It has negative curvature from outside. So handling this challenge structurally, we thought we can build a unique system, dome over dome construction, which is never being practiced anywhere in the world before this structure. The auxiliary dome is provided to achieve the external profile same as that of Shwedagon.
The inner dome and the outer profile of the pagoda are constructed in Jodhpur sandstone from Rajasthan, as it is plentifully available in large sizes and found suitable for the local environment. The stones were quarried cut and crafted as per design at Pindwara village near Jodhpur, where fine traditional stoneworking skills exist amongst the community of craftsmen who lived and worked there. This helped solve the problem on site of space, human resources, and transportation of heavy uncut blocks of stone over a long distance, thus containing